Ok. Vamos a ver si podemos codificar un poco. Let's make some code. And we will start. I'm going to start with the tile. I need to make a bigger map to try my new algorithm of my maps. I was working in I was working to render my map, and I had two approaches in my mind. And one of those was to split the whole world in segments and chunks, like chunks I show you here in tile. These things let me see here. So these things are the chunks of my maps. I think I can do this bigger. Yeah. So this is 4 chunks, and this is a map of these segments, and I wanted to render all these things in the render, but the problem is how to handle all this information, because each of these tiles is like, let's say, one integer, and that is only for one layer in this chunk, right? So I was thinking how to handle all this information. You just can imagine the amount of data I have here in these 4 chunks, because any of those has how many layers? Yeah, 5 layers. So I need to render each of these chunks plus 4, because each chunk has a 4 layer. So how to handle this? I thought one of the best way to do it is like having several files, each for one chunk, and then try to load all this into memory in a way that when the player moves, is going to move to the next chunk, and then that next chunk has to be loaded, like in a synchronous process, something like that. The other approach I thought would be something similar to do a bigger map and just render that portion of the map, but of course I need to have in advance all the information in a way, right? Handle in a way. In memory, it could be not a good idea because it would be a lot of memory. So I remember I was discussing with a friend of mine, saying that how several games handle this. And I remember we were playing Xenoblade Chronicles, I believe is the one in the series, right? The first in the series. And this friend told me in that moment, yeah, they use a strategy called it rendering of big maps, something like that. They are not doing something like open worlds. They render all the maps in like taking big chunks of data and then render that, and then when the player moves to another region, you load another big map, something like that. So it was in a sense like really big maps, so you have kind of nodes of open worlds, something like that. So I remember that chat we were having with my friends, and I realized it could be a good idea to have in the strategy something similar, doing similarly here in the game. So I imagined how could be this done, implemented, right? And I thought, okay, if I move through the map, I'm going to load only those tiles in that map. But taking also the layers of all this all the chunks, right? So what I want to do today, I mean, I actually did in the using just one chunk. I would like to show you in video. Let me see. What is Visual Code? There we go. So here, guys, I I refactored this code. I have this code. This is my code for the rendering, and what I did is refactor this code to take the position of the camera and use that position to to start uh, making the rendering, right? The first position of the camera. And that position is exactly here. So I take the position of the camera and then I use this position to create the start position of the first, let's say, tile. Okay. And the way I did this is by taking the position and divide this position with the size of the tile. I know this is kind of not good idea to have this because maybe the tile is has different size, maybe 32 or 64, right? But yeah, that is easy to fix because I will just have this data into the layer here, and I know that layer has, let's say, tiles with that size. It has to be fixed by layer, right? I mean, it's not possible, at least with this implementation, it's not possible to have different size of tiles and per layer. I mean, in one single layer, you cannot have different sizes for the tiles because with that, the algorithm is not going to work. Okay, we will have something very difficult to handle actually. I was thinking before how to handle different size of tiles in the same layer, but it's not straightforward indeed. Yeah, anyway. So I was saying that by having this this start position, I now can take the position of the tile in the memory and I just render that tile. Actually, I can show you if I change, by instance, let's move with this like 50 units. You will see, guys, that you render according to the position of the camera. It was not that hard to figure out. I mean, not that straightforward, of course, because I had to take the old code and try to refactor it. So I just fixed some books and stuff. Yeah, here now you are not seeing anything, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, you are not seeing anything. And this is because the position of the camera is outside the boundaries of the work. Because my word only works for positive integers. Okay, so I will show you now. If I move, you can see not working. Maybe plus 15 is too much, but as you can see, according I've moved the camera, so I render only those units, right? So if I set this, maybe if I put this here like this would be better, right? To show you the concept. Yeah. That is better. Yeah, as you can see, guys, if I move, some of the roads is going to be erased. See, this is because I am positioning exactly in the portion of the memory I want to render, and with that I optimize the rendering in a way that I just render what I see. You know, so this offset you see now is because I add this plus 50 the coordinates of y. Okay, pretty nice, right? Excellent. So let's go back and fix this. And now I can show you the final result. Of course, this should be better fixed or better tested in a bigger map. So what I want to do is to make a bigger map, right? See, I'm going to show you. You can see it now, right? So I know it's of course you can you shouldn't see the moment when I load the respective road to render the portion I need to render. So that is the way it works, right? So nice, pretty nice. Now what I want to do is to have a bigger map. And to do so, I need to export all this data from Tile. Another things I did in Tile was to develop some extensions. And I have here, where are my extensions? Oh, of course, in the code. Here. Let me show you guys. Yes. There we go. This, for instance, is one extension of Tile. And this extension is to add a road or the property road to the tile set because I need that property. So instead of doing manually, I just did a property and put that property and put that property I use this script to put that property. That is what I did. I think it's very nice to have this type of extensions. I mean, the things you usually do and just code it and add it is kind of cool. Have programs like that. So I like this program. Yeah. So how can I fix the exporting issues? What I need to do here is to have a way to export all these using my command generate work. Use a Python script I have to take the world file, which is this one, and this file as the links for the different chunks. So what I need is to take this file and then read all the chunks and then write all this data into files and then read those files and load the info in the game and then start rendering. Yeah. That is the goal for today. Okay. Let's go to main.py and see what the things we have here. Okay. I'm trying to create a function that create a word, and then use that word um, to make a function and serialize the word. I mean, I just want to have a way to standardize the inputs of the functions, because I don't like to have this inconsistency in the type of tilemouth I have, because here I have tilemouths that is in the way of dictionaries, because of course that is the way they can that is the way they store their storage in the word file. I would like to have it in object format, right? So I will try to standardize the inputs of this serialize. They will take a class word, and inside this class we have a list of tilemouths that we will have also objects, something like that. That is the purpose. Yeah. Okay, guys, I will stop the streaming right here because I need to do something, and maybe continue with this part two, uh, and trying to do this Python code work and see what's happening. The main goal is to try to render the big map, and using the algorithm I just code. And yeah, that will be the goal for these days. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next time.